The sweaty and the beard, the sweaty and the beard. One's a multi-million, the other has a beard. The SmackDown Live's main act, I wish they got the sack. The sweaty and the beard, 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 beard. Before each night is done, incompetents running wild by the dawning of the sun. They'll steal the spotlight from all the superstars who they promised would have it instead of them. The sweaty and the beard, yeah, sweaty and the beard. The sweaty and the beard, 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 beard. Narf.
WTF! WTF!
Hello, I'm Ross from Cultaholic.com. You are my sexual wank pheasants, and welcome to all of the WTF moments from this week's WWE SmackDown Live. An episode of SmackDown Live that was as watertight as those funny dungaree things fishermen wear. It was a good episode, I thought. Very little mistakes. This episode is going to be a tough wank. Imagine spending hours making a sign to take to SmackDown Live. Imagine getting that sign into the arena, past security, up the crevices of your anus, because that's the only way you can get it past security. Imagine getting it all the way to your seat. Imagine passing the test when Greg Hamilton goes, "Hold up your signs, Garn Raj," just so the camera can pan round and pick out all the naughty ones and confiscate them. The cameras are Limp Bizkit, they are rolling, they pan to you and you hold your sign upside down, you dipstick. And not only that, but the sign that you are holding upside down reads, "I have 9 inches." That's without the apostrophe once again, you dipstick. That's more phenomenal. I guess the question we have to ask is 9 inches of what? Gold, land, or cock? And if it is cock, I guess that makes you the bona fide big dog. Shane McMahon claims that he believes that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn do not deserve another opportunity at the WWE Championship. I can't have been the only one sat there thinking to myself, do something then. Shane McMahon, you are the boss, the sweaty boss. Daniel Bryan even said last week that he ranks below you do, and your word carries more weight than he does, so why don't you do something about it? Shane McMahon is essentially a torch now. When you want him to work, he doesn't, but then he does work when you don't want him to. And on that note, I can't wait for Shane McMahon to steal this year's WrestleMania just like he did last year, because he's the best wrestler in the world. And then we have Shane McMahon kicking off yet another episode of SmackDown Live, stood in the center of the ring on his own, stealing the spotlight from the superstars who he promised way back in day at the start of the brand extension would be showcased over the general managers and commissioners. And that's the same Shane McMahon who, of course, has been involved in every top-tier storyline on SmackDown Live for well over a year now. Once again, taking somebody's spot like an inconsiderate bastard on the train. SmackDown Live is the land of opportunity, and that is what Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan signed up for. Apparently bollocks, mate. The only opportunity you allow to happen on SmackDown Live is for every bastard on that show to stroke your bloody ego and suckle on the sweat from your daddy forehead. I'm not even going to bother coming up with some metaphor here. Shane McMahon is so delusional and has his head so far up his cabriolet he can blow raspberries on his own bastard heart. Yes, this opening segment really angered me this week. Then we have the moment where Shane McMahon claimed that SmackDown Live always listens to the fans when we are stuck in a period of time where the SmackDown Live bookers with the pencils and whatnot continue to book my bae and spirit animal Rusev as a heel, even though Rusev Day is as over as Shane McMahon is over the bastard hill. Yes, here's another one from that opening segment. Shane McMahon, I don't like you. This time we have Shane McMahon lambasting Daniel Bryan for giving in to Cammy, because Cammy's yap movement is a cheap imitation of what Shane McMahon described as Daniel Bryan's greatest creation, the yes movement. Shane, what are you talking about cheap imitations for, pal? You're a cheap imitation of your own bastard sister. Get off me screen, please. And then will this opening segment's WTF moments never end? Shane McMahon lambasts Daniel Bryan for living vicariously through indie darlings who have battled through all of the elements to make it to the dance in WWE in Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Shane, at least Bryan is living through people and giving them the spotlight instead of turning to some sort of sweaty lunar eclipse and making the show all about him like you do. Believe me, Daniel Bryan living vicariously through Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is way more preferable than you just inserting yourself into many a match as randomly as Oh, something really random. Oh, thank God that opening segment is over. Let's move on to something more positive, shall we? The New Day questioning whether Corey Graves has a better jab or a left hook, and that we're going to find out soon is just the best thing. But the question the New Day were posing got me thinking, why doesn't Corey just forget about the hands and nut that bell end with his rock hard quiff, because he'll be thinking it's tea time. Even though he's sitting down for his breakfast. No crappy graphics, blighting a wonderful Uso promo, and believe me, you need to do yourself a favour and watch that promo from last night. Get your lugs around it because your lugs will enjoy it. But there is a WTF moment here, because as we all know, Vince McMahon's new XFL will not include athletes who have a criminal record. Imagine then if one of Vince McMahon's leading WWE superstars, one of his champions, one of his poster boys, referenced a recent arrest live on WWE television. Jey Uso did. Ho ho! And while it made their promo all damn more real, I am shocked that Vince McMahon allowed it to happen, because it paints his new stance on XFL athletes in a hypocritical light. Unless, of course, in the future he's going to paint his future XFL athletes as goody two-shoes while reducing his professional wrestlers to nothing more than bums. But forget about all that, because during that Uso promo, there was no graphics. Jesus, come on in here! Shabba! So then, the SmackDown Live Top 10 list. This was a top 10 list that was voted on by the superstars themselves to give opportunities to other members in their locker room, because Shane McMahon is not capable of doing this because his head is so far up his own cabriolet he can inflate his own lungs. Yet in that top 10, the Usos, Bobby Roode, Charlotte and AJ Styles were all in there. So what is this top 10 list giving opportunities for if the champions are right at the top? Is this just being brought in to give these champions opportunities to lose their championships because they won't want that? What sort of prize is that for being ranked at the top of a top 10 list? I mean, surely not. The only other opportunity WWE superstars get these days is to star in one of those crap films, and nobody wants that, so I don't understand what this exercise has been all about. And WWE, you are not telling me that my bear and spirit animal Ruru does not rank in the top 10 most popular superstars in the SmackDown Live locker room, let alone the entire WWE universe. Everybody loves that Bulgarian brute, and on Rusev Day, how could you do this on Rusev Day, you bastards? Barney is a dinosaur from our imagination, and when he's tall, he's what we call a dinosaur sensation. I love the words on screen, but there are mistakes. First of all, it should be let's with an apostrophe. Let us be honest. Second of all, why are you having Aiden English insult the crowd in the arena when Rusev Day is babyface? We're way past that now, WWE. There's no going back. Let the Rusev Day eagle fly with the bird's nest that is WWE's babyface ranks. And thirdly, ladies and gentlemen, there was only one man at SmackDown Live last night. Who would have thought it? And who would have thought it as well? The man who was at SmackDown Live last night was Darius, because that sign there proves he is colourblind. Oh, Shelton, steady on now. You put that shovel down. Who do you think you are, Triple H? I tell you what, the misplaced confidence from beating the Ascension ain't no stopping you, no, is there? I bet there's no stopping you, no, you flaming Scotsman. Hey, beating the Ascension, I could beat the Ascension, and I haven't laced up my boots since my 10-year run in New Japan Pro Wrestling came to an end in 1999. What are we doing with Dolph Ziggler? First of all, he wins the United States Championship after spending more time in no man's land than an all-girls school. Then he buggers off. Then he comes back at the Royal Rumble in the worst return since tuberculosis. Then he goes away again, and now next week it's been announced that he's going to rekindle the worst feud of 2016, a feud that would never end, but we just wish would end, against Baron Corbin. What are WWE trying to achieve here? I don't know how I'm supposed to feel towards this. At the minute, I've got to admit, it's just got me all a bit like, what the hell, no? I just don't care. And we finish with a rash decision that Daniel Bryan made once again when he made a triple threat match for the WWE Championship with AJ Styles, Kevin Owens and Samuel James Cuthbert Zayn. It can't have been just me. Anybody with a working set of eyes must have seen that Sami Zayn won that match clearly by disqualification. AJ Styles struck him first, which meant technically that AJ Styles stepped in on Kevin Owens' behalf, buggering Sami right in the arsehole. The guy community. But isn't it funny, because at the start of the night, Uncle Al told Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, don't you go sticking your nose in. But by the time we got to that main event last night, not only did Uncle Alan stick his nose into that match himself, but Daniel Bryan did as well, making a match he shouldn't really have done. And the moral of this story is, too many noses spoil the graps. I have been Ross from Cultaholic.com. You have been my sexual wank pheasants. Head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic, where you will find a myriad of tiered reward systems, perks, and all kinds of goodness that definitely does not include Adam Pacitti doing a striptease down to his little thong. But most importantly of all, do not forget to join us on every social media platform except MySpace.